Okay. When I first started working on my gravity field theory, I was thinking it was something like magnetics and or the capacitive field or a combination of those two. And I was thinking about building a gravity globe out of Teflon and magnetic neodymium powder mixture, and then uh, zapping it with a capacitive field, and then going 90 degrees, and then zapping it with a magnetic field, so that it would have a capacitive and a magnetic field, so that it would hold water onto the globe and gas. This was what I was working on when CERN came out with uh, solvated electrons, CERN and Thunderfoot on YouTube. And I realized when Thunderfoot was publishing about solvated electrons, what what was what gravity was an atom core, because if you can dissolve atoms, you can rearrange the molecules and make larger atom cores. And if you can make larger atom cores, then you can have a planet-sized atom core, and that's what causes gravity. And that also what causes the capacitive field and the magnetic fields. So that's when I published, and I was like, that's when I started publishing, and I started working on it, and how the gravity fields interact with all the other planets, and like I'm still working on it. I was still thinking about how how it all held together. Nowadays, I think that the gravity field only extends to the electron shell, which is the ionosphere the ionosphere of our planet, and the plasma field surrounding the sun and the entire solar system is the extent of the gravity field of the sun. And each planet's gravity field is only inside of that plasma. I mean, I was talking to a doctorate friend of mine that was talking about gravity, all of it, and I was like, "Oh, dude, I already solved gravity," and he got pissed. Oh God, he got pissed. And I started talking about solvated electrons, and he's like, "What are solvated electrons?" And I was like, "It's anyway." I pissed off a lot of physicists as well. Oh, by the way, I also because my gravity continuously produces energy, I had to rewrite math to reflect that. So I rewrote math so that we now have over unity represented in math as well. Because an atom core will produce an indefinite amount of energy on a regular basis. And it's like on a continuous basis, it has a output of energy. Okay? So, now, getting back to black holes. Black holes are atom cores. The accretion disk is where the electrons, or the lighter particles of the atom, are being forced out and ejected, and creating the plasma field, or the gravity, the extent of the entire galaxy's gravity. This surrounds the entire the entire galaxy. And that's what holds everything in place. Sort of. I mean, it's all of an interplay of gravity. But anyway, and it's like superconductorish grip, to keep us in the same orbit and stuff like that. Okay, so that's my explanation of gravity. And also, it's an explanation of why there's a vacuum in space, is because we have a whole bunch of gravity fields that suck the air out of an area. And you have to get outside of the galaxies to find gas fields and like find areas where there is gas, like, and no gravity. Okay, so that also explains why there are gas fields in space, because not all of it is vacuum. You have to be near a gravity field and have all the air like sucked onto the planet and stuff like that, stuck on the planets. The size of the atom core also reflects the amount of energy that is on the surface. So if you get to the size of a sun atom core, then the surface of the planet is plasma, and you can see the field lines in the plasma on the sun, which I thought was cool. So, I mean, it was the fire, I should say. Evidently, the plasma field is the electron shell, and that's farther away. And that's like surrounding the entire solar system. So, that's gravity for me. And quantum entanglement, I got upset about it because I didn't really get upset. I was joking around. the quantum entanglement and space and time, I decoupled space and time because, well, a lot of the things that Einstein was saying were based on the spooky motion of the particles. And the spooky motion of the particles were due to the electrons flowing around the flux lines on the planet's surface. So the spooky motion of the particles was actually them maneuvering around the flux lines and spinning and doing their own little thing. Also, electron spin automatically flips an electron back and forth, because that's been proven in space as well. Let's see. What else? So I did away with space-time, and it's now space and time. I rewrote math to reflect that there is such a thing as over-unity. Space is represented by 0 because it's nothing, and so space is always larger than all the other numbers. If you multiply 1 times 2, you get 2-ish, or there's a 2 with a decimal. So that's where like over unity comes into play. So now with mine, there is creation and destruction of energy, and it's still very subtle, but and let's see what else. I told the time frame was right when Thunderfoot first published, about I don't remember exactly when. First published about solvated electrons, when I first come up with my gravity field theory, and pretty much explains everything. Like, for me now, atoms are no longer just like these little tiny things that only go up to a certain size. You can compress an atom, a core, and force it to stay together, and then it becomes a core of a planet. So, we're living on an atom. We have an infinite amount of energy, right from the atom core all the way up to the electron shell, which is the ionosphere of the planet. Um, let's see, little details and stuff like that. Like, I really thought it was really cool when you just looking at the sun, and it showed the ley lines, and I was like, the flux lines. I was right. So it was kind of funny. Oh, by the way, when two black holes collide, it creates a wave because you have a field and they wave, and that's what you hear. And if they hit hard enough, you get a white hole. And that'll create a whole bunch of new suns and planets. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it, as far as I know. If I think of anything else, I'll add in. I mean, there's little fiddly bits, but I've pretty much gotten the math and the science kind of worked out the kinks and stuff like that. And my math does work on a graph, and it does, like, I get negative numbers and stuff like that, so it's okay. It's cool. It works on a number line. It just does different. They were teasing me. Like, you ripped apart trigonometry. I don't think I did. I just slightly altered math a little bit, just to reflect that there is such a thing as overunity, and energy can be created and destroyed. Yeah. Okay, that's about it.